Hello. Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Wednesday night. It's time for our Anything Ashes. As you can see, my co-hosts are not here tonight. First of all, everybody, welcome back to the Hidden Dagger Inn. And Paranet is holding his walnut there, so that's why we call him Paranut. And hey, Pally, how you doing, Woo? And Quirian is on vacation still, so they are both on vacation and gone. So we're flying solo tonight, but that's okay. We don't need them anyway. I never liked them anyway. So I hope you guys are doing good. Welcome. Oh yeah, you like that picture, Paranot? I got something special for you guys later. Hey Manu, how you doing? Pinnerball, how you doing? Wiz McNasty, how you doing? Glad everyone's here. Pockets, of course. Hope everyone's having a good Wednesday, guys. So I'm sure the first thing I'm going to talk about tonight is that I'm kind of bummed out, as I said in chat. I had some artwork that I was trying to get for the stream, and I wanted to, because nobody wants to see the follower bars and stuff like that when we're playing a game, when Ashes actually comes out. So I wanted to get a beautiful bar made, kind of like I have now, pop up on my screen with a big alert, and then I had a nice voiceover come on for her. The problem was that the animation was okay, but the bar girl looked horrible. I mean, wasn't anywhere near as sexy as this one, so I just can't use it. So that's just money gone. I just don't think the guy had the talent to do it, so I'm going to keep on searching. The idea was good, the execution was poor, but it is what it is. I hope everyone else is, so we're going to stick with the old one for right now. Hope everyone's doing good tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about guilds. We're going to talk about the guild allocation points. We're going to talk about Zergs, live stream. Are you guys bummed out that there's a delay? Let me know what's going on. And first of all, how you guys doing tonight? What's going on? You guys got anything you want to talk about in particular? We can head off into that direction while I drink my coffee. Yeah, so let's start off with this poll here. We're going to do some polls tonight. And the first poll is we're going to put what month do you think Ashes is coming out? Let's see. All right, let's see what you got. There should be a poll up there. You guys should be able to see it. Hopefully it works. Let me know if it doesn't. Here we go. Nah, stop that nonsense. Stop that nonsense. This is brutal. Yeah, the live stream is delayed to the 3rd. Yeah, and I hope Steven gets better. I mean, we don't want Steven to be sick, so that's fine. It is what it is. It's no big deal. We want the stream to be good, and we can wait another week. It's not going to be that big of a deal. So, let's see. No votes yet, huh? Come on, come on, guys. Put your vote in. Put your vote in. You have to lurk. All right, Paranot. Oh, wait. Make sure you stay tuned later, Paranot, because I got a really good question for. Hey, Thogly, how you doing? What'd you warn me about, Thogly? You don't see a vote? It's not coming up? Oh, man. All right, well, let me give you the options here. We'll give you the options. You guys can type it in. That's weird. I don't know why it's not popping up. What month is the Alpha 2 coming? July is, you got to put 1, August 2, September 3, and 4 delayed. So go ahead and yeah, you guys. Well, you guys are kind of struggling there, Thogly. I mean, I'm like level 50 something and like on level like 160. You guys, hey, Dr. Burns, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Yeah, but I'm kind of minding my own business in 7 Days to Die. By the way, if you guys want to come play 7 Days to Die with us, come hang out on our Discord and check us out and come join the fun. We're having a good time playing with the dwarves. By the way, guys, I have some new merch. Hopefully that link works. Go ahead and check out the merch. I'm not soliciting you guys to buy anything. I'm just letting you know that it's up there. So feel free to go ahead and check that out. We're not struggling. You're making your dwarf. I'm making my home too. I'm making an orc home. I'm in the swamp. Yeah, that's where I'm at. So, you got 3. You got 3. Okay. No 4s. That's good. I like seeing that. I wonder why my poll's not working. That's really annoying. So how you doing tonight, Dr. Burns? What's up with you? Playing with the dwarves could be a SWAT team. How's the voice coming in tonight, guys? Everything coming in okay? Let's see. Let me know if my soundboard's working too. Let's see here.
Me not that kind of orc.
Did you hear me? Not that kind of orc? All right. Working on a new video. Ooh, dungeons. That sounds good. You got a little teaser? Like what exact voices go? Thank you, Minoki. You got any teasers like exactly what about the dungeons? Are we talking about like instance dungeons or the 80% that are open world, or what do we got here? Paranaut muted again. Yeah, Paranaut left me. He decided to go to a wedding. I mean, what a prick. In career he just wants to go on vacation. So you know what? Fuck those guys. I never liked them anyway. No, just teasing. Bit of both. There you go. I got another poll, and it's really, really sad that that one's not working. I don't know why. Let's see. Let's cancel that one. Here we go. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but anyway, this poll is which co-host do you like more? And the options are 1 for Paranaut, 2 for Quirian, 3 for neither, 4 for both, and 5 neither of them, and get a hot girl instead. What do you think? I'm choosing 5. I fuck those guys. I'm getting a guy, or not a guy. I'm getting a girl. Woo, are you available? You want to come on the show? You could be my new co-host. These guys, they're ditching me. They think that life is more important. I mean, go figure. 5. There you go. Get a girl. There. 4. Oh wow. 1 Paranaut. Oh, you're just saying that because you're a dwarf and he's a dwarf. 5. Oh, you like the hot girl idea? Oh, you're not camera shy. I'll do all the talking. That's awesome. I can't wait to show these guys the results of this. Make sure you like them both. Wait, but Dr. Burge, you said, oh yeah, you did say 4. All right, yeah, damn it. I was hoping you would put 5, but I do like the 5s. Nah, I'm not hitting Totally. You know I love you, dwarfs. Is the poll on? No, it shouldn't be on YouTube. I don't think it's on YouTube. It should be coming up on Twitch, but go figure. It's the first time I've used a poll, so I'll have to figure it out if it's coming up a little janky, but that's all right. So, what are your guys' thoughts on? Well, first of all, are you guys bummed about the delay? I mean, it's for a good reason. Steven's sick, so you saw it come up on the left of your screen. Oh, on the left of my screen. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so let me see if it's. Let me look at my multi-stream, see if it's over there. No, nothing on my multi-stream. I'll work on it later. Anyway, are you guys kind of bummed that there's no stream, or are you guys just like, glad about the delay? Yeah, Friday is long for you. You're a busy man, huh? Hey, Dr. Burns, by the way, you said you're a radiologist, right? I wanted to tell you that you would appreciate this, that my father, everyone knows that he has stage 4 cancer, and so they did radiation on him, on his bone cancer, to try to get rid of the bone cancer in 4 different spots, and apparently it came back and his PSA is down to really negative now, or not negative, but really low. So it's really good. So it looks like it worked for the time being. So right now, it looks like it's a good thing until the hormone therapy just stops working. So yeah, that was really good news. I was really happy for that. We want to keep him around as long as we can. Hey, how you doing, Magma? How you doing? What's going on, man? What's going on? Yeah, no, that's good news. It's yeah, no, that's okay, Pally. I mean, he's 79 years old, just had his birthday, and it is what it is. I mean, you live long enough, and you got a really good chance of getting cancer. Unfortunately, it came back, and it is what it is. That probably will do. Yeah, for sure. Hey, how you doing, Magma? Hey, get in there, protect the base in 7 days to die. I can't. I'm here. So, what do you guys think about? Let's talk about Zergs first. I guess Jamie decided to talk about this earlier too, that Careering brought to my attention, and I didn't know that because I didn't get a chance to watch Jamie's stream, but I guess great minds think alike. So I'm thinking about Zergs, and maybe we'll go a little bit more in depth about it. And what are your thoughts about Zergs? Do you like the AoEs with the Zergs? Do you think that Zergs should put out a little less damage depending on their amount of numbers that they have? Is that something you'd like to see? Or would you like to see, let's say, smaller guilds, right? Say 50 and below. Maybe they have a skill that increases their CC where it's a little bit longer or something like that to help them out. Maybe a little bit wider, something like that. Some of those skills could be interesting to help balance some of the stuff. That would be all of us dudes. Oh God, don't say that, Dr. Burns. I hope not. I hope not. Smaller guilds, like, because guilds go up to 300, Thogley. So, but I think a lot of people are going to be choosing. Hey, Surgeon General, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the channel, guys. I think that a lot of people are going to be going the smaller guild route and just allying with a bunch of smaller guilds, because you're going to. The way it works is you get better skills if you don't allocate those skill points to party members, because I think every +5, every point is like +5 party members up to 300. So that's going to be a lot of skill points that are going to be able to be used for like combat or anything else. It can be very useful. And there should be a way to help combat Zergs. We'll never be able to combat Zergs altogether. Zergs are just a part of the game, but what we have to think about. All right, bud. Take care, Dr. Burns. I appreciate it. Tell the kids a good story. How Paranut wouldn't go looking for his nut. What was I going to say? Zergs are inevitable, but we've never seen a game like the size of Ashes from 8 to 10,000 and eventually 15,000 concurrent players. That's a whole lot of players, guys. Zergs could be plentiful. So, I mean, really sit back and think about, do we want Zergs in? It's probably inevitable, and how do we counter that? Is there a way to help give the smaller guilds a chance? Oh, shit. Who did that? All right. Woo! Did the sound come through on that alert, by the way? I'm guessing, no, Minoki, I'm not familiar with ESO. I did not play it. In-game item to force everyone to sing and dance. Oh, man. Yeah, I think I'm going to, frickin' Thogley likes to play that thing all the time. He wears me out. By the end of the night, I've definitely had my cardio. So, don't you start. That'd be horrible. And I want to give a shout out to the Golden Feather Tavern real quick, and to Vertec, especially, and Chibi, of course. They really, Vertec really helped me with the sound. He got me this really cool thing that I bought called Beacon, and it really helps me take care of all the sound stuff. So I'm really looking forward. Hopefully it's coming through good for you guys, and we're not going to have any more issues. Mag McCann says, maybe have skills that can chain a very short distance and get stronger every chain to discourage. I mean, we already know that there's going to be diminishing returns, right? Diminishing returns is going to be super important. We don't want to be getting stun locked or CC'd for an extended period of time. Now, I think every class should have a CC break. I think that there's been talk about possibly giving a trinket, like kind of like a WoW trinket. That'd be fine. But I'd like to see a third option if they didn't do that. Damage scaling, not CC scaling. Well, see, I come back from the days of DAOC where the mesmerize was ridiculously long, and I don't know if I'd want to see it that long. But if you had a good healer, and that was the one who casted the mez, if you had a good healer that got it off on a large group, I mean, you literally could take out a Zerg with an 8-man group. It was really good. But I would like to see in a secondary system that in one of the lines, and maybe all of them, depending on which one you go, that you can get a purge ability that and again, this is like on a 10-minute timer or something like that. So how you use them is really important. And Minoki says, okay, so when you are level 1, you start off with a buff. The buff diminishes as you level up and is gone by the time you reach level 50. I was thinking that guilds could work like that. Smaller the guild, the more buffs they have eventually. Well, but what do you do when you're 50 though, Minoki? I mean, because that's when all the action's going to happen. So you have to that's when all those big Zerg battles are going to happen. Especially when you're talking about, the castle. Well, the castles, we don't know if we're going to be instanced yet or not, but I don't think that the node sieges are. And we already know that they said node wars are not going to be instanced. So that's going to be real interesting how that works. I mean, so if you say you're in a node war, right, and you're getting your bum rocked, right, and they're giving you some major surprise butt sex, well, they call in those node wars, they go on for a while. They call in their allies, they call in the merc guilds, they're calling in suspect and stuff like that. That's a whole lot of people that they're bringing in that you have to deal with, and maybe they reach out to Asmongold or something like that, tell him to bring his guild over or something. Who knows? But I would like to see some kind of. I don't want to see the whole game rolled over. And again, and this brings us to the server meshing that they're going to be doing. And I don't know if you guys saw my video on what you thought about that on YouTube. I posted a few days ago, but I'm excited for the server meshing that they're going to talk about. If they can get it I'm sure it's going to be different than Star Citizens. It's going to be dynamic, but it doesn't need to hold 30,000 people like Star Citizens does. It needs to hold, up to about 15. And it's going to be really, really interesting to see how that works. I really hope they can pull it off. If they can pull it off, it's going to make Ashes the shit. I mean, I really feel like Ashes, I don't know how old most of you guys are, but I was alive. I was about 21 years old when Blizzard started. And first game I played ever was Warcraft Orcs and Humans. And I watched Blizzard grow over the years with Warcraft and in the RTS StarCraft and Diablo. And then, of course, into WoW. And older than me. And it was then you remember Pen and Brawl. So I watched all those games come out, and I watched Blizzard become the monster that it became, and everybody knows now, and how it's fallen off its perch pretty much. But I feel, may be a little premature to say this because Intrepid has not put out a game yet, but the way they're going, and the nice family-orientated developer studio that Steven is fostering, and the passion that they're putting into this project, if this game is a hit, which I believe it will be, I feel that we might be witnessing in real time the next up and coming Blizzard. This might be the one that eventually dethrones Blizzard. I could really see that. And Minoki, older than me, Minoki says you level up to champion point 160 and get geared up. ESO wise, I'm not sure about AOC. I think there should be optimal minimum 8-man guilds. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I guess you could have a 8-man guild. Boy, that'd be really small. To roam the world, but DAOC had a lot of 8-man guilds, so I wouldn't be opposed to that. Penabros says no, I think it's true. It's a good take. AOC isn't. I mean, I really think it could be the next big thing, and we have to think about what Steven says. We all know Steven's mind, right? We all know his passion. So we know that when Ashes of Creation comes out, when it launches, whenever it is, 2 years or whatever, that it's going to have a bunch of game loops and stuff like that for us to keep us going and involved. But what we don't think about is the fact about how it's going to look in, say, 10 years from launch, right? When we go ahead and think about all the stuff that Steven has in his brain that he can't possibly put into the game because of simple, scope creep, his mind's got to be blowing up with ideas, new expansions, new areas, new story arcs, stuff for naval, all kinds of stuff. One sequence, one story arc leads into a new expansion story arc or something like that. And they said every 3 to 6 months, something like that, for the expansions and new content. I am super excited. I mark my words. 10 years from now, whenever Ashes is out, we will not recognize the game that we are going to be testing in Alpha 2 and when it launches. It will be a completely different game, similar to WoW when we had WoW. But the thing that I'm most excited about with Ashes is because one of the problems I had with World of Warcraft was the fact that they you spent all that time in Molten Core, right? And then you get 3 hours a night or more to do your raid. Hey guys, now that you got all your gear, we're going to put an expansion level to level 60, 10 more levels, and your gear is fucking worthless now. And then they kept doing it, rinse and repeat. You're like, fine, one time I'll deal with it. And then they kept rinsing and repeating. 10 more levels. Okay, guys, your gear's worthless now. Same and same again. It was just horrible. But Ashes of Creation has said that they are not doing that because, and I remember Margaret specifically saying on the stream that she hated that mechanic in WoW. Your time that you put into the game, you should, if they're going to, I hope they don't raise the level cap, but if they do, they shouldn't make it too hard to catch up. But the most important part was the gear. When you get the gear, they said that you're going to be able to basically dismantle it and then use those items that you get from that good gear that you had into the new recipes that they have now found. So you can still, as you level up, still get that gear and it'll still be a good thing. So that's what I am looking forward to. And I think they're really taking a good approach to that because otherwise, man, that sucks. And tell me how you guys feel about, do you guys remember the WoW expansions? And, does everybody have all the time in the world to go ahead and level up again and go ahead and do those 3-hour raids and stuff like that? I didn't. I just didn't want to do it anymore. But Pennebrawl says, I've always said AOC is the next big Baldur's Gate 3 for MMOs. Yeah, I mean, Baldur's Gate took its time to get in there, but wow, man, there's nothing but good reviews for Baldur's Gate 3. I played it. I liked it. I'm not too much into single player stuff. I really like multiplayer stuff. But so what are your thoughts on, do you guys think that AOC could be the next Blizzard? I mean, are we looking at the next greatest company here? Because I'm not seeing anyone else. I mean, it's not going to be ArcAge 2, with Cacao running them and as a publisher. Amazon keeps dropping the ball and putting out horrible live streams for New World. So it's really hard to say. NCSoft, no, pay to win. There's no one else out there right now that really I think is going to be able to compete with them. So everyone else is still trying to figure out how to monetize and screw people over. Pardon me while I drink my coffee. Hey Thogly, how you doing in your dwarf village? Are you guys having any fights out there? Steven says Steven has grand ideas from Pathfinder modules and probably a board game. Oh yeah, board game for sure. Intrepid will be better than Blizzard and the other studios if they do not sell out. No, I totally agree. Minoki says gear should never be worthless. Yes, thank you. But having a higher level cap shouldn't be too bad. So level 50 gear should get you off into the next rung. I feel like expansion should kind of be building the ladder. Let me cancel this ad break, guys, coming up. Anyway, here I go. I canceled that. Yeah, I'm not totally horrible, against the level caps. I mean, that's fine as long as the gear thing is sorted out. And do they even really need to expand new land they probably don't even need to expand new land or new areas with the expansions. They probably could just introduce some new story arcs that would come around when, people got around to doing what they were supposed to do. And here's something else, because every server is going to be different. I can't wait to hear the stories about what a server did to open up specific story arcs. I think it could be really, really cool. And with that being said, eventually down the road, when you're like really far in and you're really developed, would you be opposed to them if they put out like 2 or 3 expansions? Would you get? I personally like these. I like fresh start servers. Would you personally be opposed to trying a fresh start server with all the expansions and have a bunch of new players who never got to experience the nodes and the world leveling up from the very start and then kind of going their own direction? Would you guys be opposed to something like that? Because I really wouldn't. I've always loved fresh start servers, and because there's always something I feel that I can do different. I could do different, and I could do better than I did before. That's just kind of the way I look at it. But you think that would be a bad idea? Well, what about all those people that come in late, Dogley? Don't you think that they should get a chance to experience the world new? I mean, not a lot of fresh start servers, just like one or something like that. I mean, it can still only hold 15,000 people. So would we come to go to servers, sweaty guilds? It might, but it might not, because, again, think about all the work that you've put into a guild. If there's a guild that's already well established, are they going to want to, is everybody on that guild going to want to uproot and go to a different server? I don't think so. They're not going to want to give up their freeholds and everything that they've gotten. This is kind of more for people who haven't got a chance to experience the world as it's started from early on up until, the metropolises and stuff like that. Again, this is after expansions, not anytime soon, not right away or anything like that. But that's good. I'm glad you put that. You put that thought in. Is there any other reason that, other than sweaty guilds and stuff, or you have anything else? Oh man, but what were we talking about? So, your guys' thoughts on Zergs? Are you okay with Zergs? And how big of a Zerg is too big? For large PvP guilds and competitive folks, just may switch to go again from what they learned. Hey, Wizard, how you doing? Hey, Wizard, I heard you joined Overlord. Is that correct? If so, let me give you a formal welcome. Glad to have you. Appreciate it. Let's see. It looks like you're talking on YouTube. Okay, good. Experienced players could really wreck the first. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's a good point. Douglas said for large PvP guilds and competitive folks, they may switch to go for again from what they learned. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Minoki says yes and no. ESO does story arcs, but also adds trials that are increasing and difficult. Game content always gets harder and harder, but having content and beginners, intermediates can enjoy. I think as Zerg starts to cause the server problems, yeah, I think that Zergs definitely can cause a lot of problems. So we'll have to see what kind of mechanic. And if they do start to cause problems, I'm sure Intrepid has some ideas on how to tweak stuff. Yeah, there we go. Overlord, baby. You hear that, Dogley? Overlord. Woohoo!
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you were here?
That's awesome. Well, welcome to the family, Wizard. We're glad to have you. By the way, you should come jump into 7 Days to Die with us if you want, and hit the roll server on the Discord and come check it out. And you guys, if you don't have the Discord link, let me go ahead and give it to you real quick, so you can come join the community and say hi to me, say hi to Peon. There you go. But yeah, it's going to be. So I was saying, how big is too big for the Zerg guilds? Okay, so let's put this in perspective. You guys have gone through putting all the materials into a node war, right? And they said there's no cap on people. So you're going out there. Say you got 5. That didn't scare me. You got to do better than that. Get me with that when I'm playing a game and I'm focused. What was I going to say? When you have 300 or 500 people from your node ready, prime time hours, they're ready to roll and they're ready to kick some ass. Now the other node has about the same amount. Hey, Robin, how you doing? Welcome back. Shadowbane and Lineage 2 Zerg guilds were about 1,500 players. Okay, I mean, let's assume, okay, let's go with that number. 1,500 players, okay? What happens if those, and they're equal, they're about 1,500 players, but one side is decidedly better than the other one, and they're kind of whooping up some ass. So the other guys, they got the phone number of some alliances and some other big guilds that can help them out for maybe some money or something like that. And they give them a jingle. Yo, guys, we're getting our ass kicked. We need you guys down there. So they roll in with another 500 and turn the tides of the war. Are you okay with that? Are we okay with opening up the coffers to the mercenary guilds and stuff like that? I mean, it's a strategy. It's a strategy. Minoki says, I feel like the best strategy for larger Zerg guilds should be choke. Yes, choke points and lots of AoE. Absolutely. No. Oh, I see Stokely's going into 7 Days to Die. Your base has been raided, Dogley. That's good coffee. Nah, I'm off doing. I'm off doing other stuff. I don't even know where you guys are at on that base, but nah, that's funny. Yeah, Penebrawl, you need to do other alerts because that one didn't get me. But maybe when if I were in 7 Days to Die and playing that game, that would have probably scared the shit out of me. But back at, let's say we're not talking about open world, right? So we're talking about a roaming group of 300, a guild of 300 people, right? We have dwarves there, and I get bangs low. Say you have, hey, how you doing? Something new? Tell your kid I was still waiting for my coffee. Jericho, we got someone waiting for their coffee. Hook them up. So say you're roaming the world, which I did a lot in Dark Age of Camelot. There will be a lot of guilds roaming the world, especially if there's like you dragon or something like that. We'll get back on that topic. Jericho, no, I'm just teasing. Somebody in chat said they wanted coffee. All right.
Come on.
Sorry, buddy. What was I going to say? So you're roaming. Say you're roaming with your guild of 50, right? And there's another guild with 30. Are you just going to run, or are you going to try to take them? And do you think there should be some kind of mechanics to help even that fight a little bit? Again, I kind of think that if a guild now. All these points that they spec into, that we're allowed to spec into, it seems like so far, especially with the character classes from what we heard from the PI, it seems like they've done a really good job in making tough decisions. Like, would you like to do more damage, or maybe would you like to make your CC longer? Both are very powerful and really could turn the tide of the direction of where, how you end up being and how useful you are to the group. So I'm very curious to see how they end up with the skill points for the guilds. I was going to go somewhere with running to lure you in. Yeah. Well, how many times have you heard I remember when I used to run my guild in Warhammer and in Guild Wars, I was always big on people not chasing, and we always did a lot of open world PvP. But how many times do you see people chasing and just run right into a trap, or they're not watching their back, and they're going to get flanked or something like that? Scouting is going to be paramount, guys. If you guys are not scouting, yes, Wizard, I want lots more, and that's where bards come in. I do believe that bards are going to have travel speed, and if you haven't seen my bard video, go check that out. If nothing else, the intro is funny. You're definitely going to want to have a bard, not only for the mana to get back, but for the travel speed. Let's touch on that subject. How fast is too fast for bard speed? Plus, maybe some skill points could maybe increase that bard speed to like from 10% to 11% or 12%. So if you're chasing somebody and your bard has that extra 1 or 2% increase in speed, you could catch somebody if the other guy didn't. So Pocket said, wouldn't that just incentivize mega guilds to break into multiple small? I think that's what's going to happen anyway, Pockets. I think that people are going to go ahead and break into smaller guilds. But here's the thing. With multiple smaller guilds. The guild leader can only really effectively manage one of those smaller guilds. Now, he can make alts to be the guild leader of the other guilds. However, hey, Cryptic, how you doing? Welcome back. However, I think if there's a guild and they're alone and they're not getting like the chat, right, from the main guild and stuff like that, maybe they're all on Discord, but they're still going to kind of be separate. I think there's going to be a lot more drama and people wanting to do their own thing. It might not happen at first because everyone's going to be on the same page. But as time goes on, I can see guilds saying, fuck you. I don't need you guys. I'm going to go off. We're leveled up right now. You guys fed us crafting materials. Now we're good. We don't need your ass anymore. I could totally see that happening, and that's something that guilds have to be cognizant of. But I also want to see some penalties or not necessarily penalties, but I want to see good buffs for small guilds. So that's going to be really interesting. Penterball says Rogue and Ranger Scouts for the win. Absolutely. Anybody who's played Dark Age of Camelot or Warhammer Online or Guild Wars knows how important scouting is going to be. Bard buff, bards are going to be paramount. I'm curious to see what the summoners have for the groups that's going to really help them, other than just filling a role when they need to. Penterball says mega guilds into smaller guilds is more drama and more backstabbing. Absolutely, 100%. And that's kind of where I'm going with this, because I really feel like that's what's going to happen. Again, it won't happen at first because everyone's going to be all lovey-dovey. They're going to be in a honeymoon phase and stuff like that. But I really feel like that's definitely going to happen. Sorry, guys. That would be a lot of logistical. Yeah, absolutely. I need to see yeah, I'm super excited for that too, Cryptic. I'm not going to lie. I'm very, very excited to see the Rogue. I don't know if I'm going to play a Rogue, and here's why. I've played a Rogue most of my life in other games, but I'm not as twitchy as I used to be. Maybe with a lot of practice, I could be pretty good, but I don't know if I have confidence in myself to go ahead and play that. I might go something with more range, like a ranger or something like that. And if I suck with that, I'll just go tank or something. Minoki says, I want there to be more reasons to kill scouts, spies, and could really be a dangerous consequence for your node. Yeah. No, guys, and let's talk about that for a second. That's a great topic, Minoki, is spies. I guarantee you, every one of those large guilds right now has a spy in them. They have somebody they got all this time to work up their way in the ranks and get known, especially for some of those smaller guilds, right, who are just starting out. And they got time to work up the ranks, get into like a treasury position. We've seen it before. We've seen it in the Eve. We saw it in the Albion line. Lots of guilds. They get, somebody gets careless and they get promoted and bam, there goes their treasury coffer. Just like that. Penterball says summoner, largest amount of mana, highest casting cost, mana regen, able to supply mana through the mage ability. Bard will increase mana regen but not give mana like the summoner. You sure about that, Penterball? I thought that the Bard was going to be the major mana giver and not the summoner. Maybe I'm wrong, but I could have sworn that's from listening to them in a live stream. That's basically because think about that. If the Bard is not the major mana summoner, then how can they roll Alpha 2 out without the Bard or without the summoner? Right? If the summoner is the main one. I think they're waiting. They're going to have the Bard in by Alpha 2 because he is needed for the mana. Yeah, well, we don't want the cleric to have too much mana regen. So we don't want the cleric to have too much mana regen. Minoki says, heck, imagine a scribe just making maps on a node-to-node as a full 8-man group bodyguards. Oh, no. Not a mana giver, increase mana regen. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think that bards are going to increase regen. I also think that they're going to have a skill that actually give you mana, not regen. They're actually going to give you mana. I might be wrong, but I actually think they're going to have a skill like that. Now, it might be single target, but nevertheless, I think something like that will happen. Pocket says they have a weapon enchant to put on themselves DPS that returns mana, but I'm not sure if it's player enchanted or if it's off the priest. Mage is still the one pooling all the... Here, you know what? Before I get into this next topic, and if I forget what it is, we're going to talk about the map room real quick in the taverns. So remind me if I forget. Mages. Do we think mages have too much utility so far? Let's look at this. Mages can sleep. Mages have AoE. Mages can detect invisible. Mages can find trap doors or something like that in dungeons. That to me, and one of the highest damage classes, that that to me seems like they might have a little bit too much utility. Anybody else feel the same way as me on that? And don't be biased. If you're a mage player, be truthful, because that's a whole lot of utility. Mages, there is something mages can find. He's talked about it in the past, Pockets. Guarantee it. 100%. Mages have some kind of detect on a door or something like that. Yeah, death to all mages. Yeah, well, I would like to see. I don't think. Now, I'm okay. Mages have a way too much. Thank you very much. I'm okay with the sleep and stuff like that, the AoE, the high damage, stuff like that. But I don't want to see them with anything regarding a dungeon and being able to detect anything. That should be solely for the rogue. If you give the mages anything like a detected secret door with their invisible whatever, then you're lessening the effect of the rogue. Okay, the rogues, like the fat kid that never gets picked up in a group. We want to invite the fat kid, and we want him to come in because we want that loot, right? So I think every ability for finding extra shit in dungeons should be rogue related. I mean, it makes sense. I think they should take that out from the mage. The mage has enough utility without that. I think that they put that in there because they have that all-seeing eye that will see stealth. Seeing stealth is fine. That's not a problem. Maybe they could put something in like that, Penebrawl, depending on how... You know what? I really don't think... I love playing dodgeball with rogues. I really don't think that the... And I might be wrong, but I think a lot of people are getting too hyped up about these augments. I don't think they're going to be as powerful as people think that they're going to be. I think it's going to be more like Archage, Ancestrals, and stuff like that. Let me know if you think I'm wrong, but I'm one of the videos that I made in the past. Jeffrey Bard even said as much, that they're not going to completely change the class. So I'm curious to see how it works, but there'll probably be a lot of dead classes, and also I think you're going to see a lot of doubling down on classes and stuff like that, like cleric, tank, rogue, fighter. I think you're going to see a lot of doubling down. Minoki says, I think the ranger mages should have a way to detect a stealth player, but not a trap effect. Yeah, I'm okay with everything else the mage has, but I just don't think that they should be allowed to detect anything in a dungeon. Wizard says, I view augments like ESO. See, yeah, I never played ESO, so I'm kind of lost when it comes to ESO and how to do that one. But nevertheless, one of the things I wanted to bring out too was... Now, I put a video, one that really wasn't watched much, about taverns. And one of the clips I had in there was when Steven was talking. And now, this won't be in Alpha 2, and it might not even be at launch. But it was in taverns, them having map rooms that look like a chessboard. And it looks... Something like that could be really cool, where guilds come into the taverns and they go ahead and strategize for their event. Does that sound like a pretty cool idea? Because I think we should get some thoughts on that, because that sounds pretty cool. Penebrawl says, sure, they won't change the class that much, but the mage will have skill trees. Yeah, maybe they'll do something like that, Pen. Maybe it'll be off on a separate skill tree or something like that. But even then, they could come up with better stuff than giving mages that. I mean, I just don't want anything to take away from the other classes' utility. Mage is going to be one of the highest damage. Ranger is going to be one of the highest damage, range damage. So what's the ranger have? What does the ranger have that's going to make them want a mage over the ranger? Are mobs going to have just physical DPS buffs or something like that, where you're going to need physical damage with the range with the bow and not damage spell abilities? How is that going to work? That could be very, very interesting. So that's Penebrawl says, he said, yes, there will be a map room where you have a map or castle. You can, plan your siege. Yeah. Yep. It also in taverns as well, Penebrawl. So make sure you come and visit me and say hi to my barmaids and in the Hidden Dagger Inn, because I'm really looking forward to that. Kind of a quiet night tonight. Where's everybody at, man? Where's everybody at? armor piercing on Ranger. Yeah, that could be cool. But what else? Don't you think that they should have something else? I don't know. I think Rangers should be really, because again, you just don't want them to be. They got to think about this real well, because you don't want classes to get left out. And I'm sure they're doing a real good job. And how much of this do you think is really based off of Pathfinder? I've played Dungeons and Dragons, but Pathfinder's a little bit different. Who in here has played Pathfinder, and are there classes that they've seen so far pretty much going just like Pathfinder classes? Because then we can kind of speculate a little bit. Yes, you're going to need physical damage versus magic damage in some cases. This is why Summoner is so good, because, yeah, Summoner will definitely fill a role. I think people who roll without 8-man groups are foolish. 8-man groups, I really believe, are going to be the thing. If you start going without 8-man groups, I think you're kind of gimping yourself. There's just too much utility. And what would be your perfect group right now, from what you know? What would be your perfect group if you had it? And include augments in there, as far as like it'd be like a paladin, like a tank cleric or something like that. What would be your guys' perfect group? That could be very interesting. I don't know what I would have. And let's say that the rogue, 8 rogues law. Let's say that a rogue, you have to double down on a rogue to get the best trap and hidden detection. One of everything. Well, I mean, you can't have one of everything unless you're doubling down. So on everything. But yeah, so if you're doing like a rogue, and then they have like the best abilities of trap finding or something like that. But maybe, if they don't get rid of the trap detection, maybe a rogue mage has a little bit more utility, something like that. So depends on if we need more than one. God, I hope. Well, it really depends on how good the Bard's supplemental healing is, to be honest. I mean, I really think that the Bard is going to be more of a melee, and his spells or his attacks are going to inspire with heals and stuff like that. So that'll be really interesting to see how that goes. If they can heal while the cleric is, on a spell cooldown or something like that, or just substitute with some regen or something, that'd be pretty big. What are your thoughts? Minoki says, I don't know. I feel like I would want to be able to travel as a single person and go chase squirrels. I might not be as effective in combat much, but I feel like, yeah, well, for me personally, I want to explore a lot. I plan to do a lot of exploring. And, hey, we got a first-time chatter. Malias Pathfinder was pretty similar to D&D 3.5, if you ever played that. It's been such a long time. So I played D&D when I was like 17 years old, and I'm 52 now, so it's been a while. But welcome to the channel, Malias, or Malsias. I'm sorry, I fucked up your name. But that brings me back to that point that you just brought up, Minoki. When I mentioned earlier hang on, I got a Bard thing or ad thing. I gotta snooze here. Snooze for 5 minutes. Bards, how fast should the speed be? How fast? Hey, Rory, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? How fast should the speed be? By the way, I liked your video the other day. It made me laugh. What was the thing that you called the phone on the toilet? That was really funny. That made me laugh out loud for sure. Let's see. We have a shout out to Rory here. Guys, go check his channel out and watch his YouTube videos. He's a really entertaining guy and one of my content creator friends. Toilet TV, yes, I love that. Toilet TV, that was awesome. So what do you guys think about... Penabral says tank. This is Penabral's. Think about the speed. How fast you want to see the Bard while I'm answering Penabral's question or commenting on it. Tank fighter tank. Ooh, so you got an off tank, you got a mage, a pure DPS, pure healer, a Bard summoner, a mix. That could be interesting. Summoner cleric. So we got basically 3 versions of healers, a rogue ranger and a ranger mage. So we got a lot of DPS too. Interesting. That's a pretty solid group. I can't argue with that. I hope that we don't see too many cookie cutter classes, because Arcade had this problem where there would be they had hundreds of literal classes that you can go, but maybe only like 15 of them were actually viable. I hope it doesn't go that route, and I think a lot of people are concerned about that. Mr. Cryptic says it really depends on what you're trying to do, honestly. If it's launch of the game, you were trying to level, I wouldn't roll with more than 4 and 5 downtime. You have the rest stops only exponentially increase. That's fair. That's fair. But if you're doing a dungeon, I don't know. I think I want to be rolling, because we have to keep this in mind, guys. When you're in a dungeon, you're going to be facing other groups. So if you're up in a Tower of Carfin and there's an 8-man group and they know that you only got 5 because you're trying to hoard a little bit more experience and loot. What's to stop them from stealing your shit and saying, fuck you, I'm going to kill you guys, get the fuck out of our area, we want it all. And so I think that's going to be a thing. You should roll with the homies. I think you'll be better off. But so any comments on that Bard speed at all, guys? Do you think 10% is too fast if you were to have a Bard in your group for travel speed? And would you be opposed to seeing a skill point that maybe made your speed better, or maybe your CC longer, or maybe, let's see, maybe some of your abilities more inspiring or something like that? Pennerball says you need a full group. You roll through mobs much faster. Yeah, I think you're right. And I think people who go zerging and stuff like that, kind of back to that zerging thing, I don't know. I think they're going to get a lot less experience from it. Obviously, it cheapens. Doing zerging really just kind of cheapens the whole aspect of the game. It diminishes skill importance. It brings a little bit of content trivialization to it. I don't like Zergs in general. Brings a lot of lag to the servers, especially if the dynamic meshing is not working. Pennerball says that 8 to 10% faster is fine, perhaps 12% after spending more skill points. Yeah, because I would like to see, that dynamic of what we talked about, Pennerball, where say you're chasing a group, but your Bard, and everybody knows that your Bard has the fastest speed, right? So he's going to be wanted for open world. And the guys that you're chasing, they don't have it. And how many people should the Bard affect? Are we just talking the Bard should just affect your group? Is everybody on par with that? I think the Bard buffs should only affect the group. Does everyone feel the same way? I think that's the way they're going to work, but it should only be an AoE effect for your group. Hey, Oracle, how you doing, buddy? What's going on, my man? Shamans and Wowhead, Ghost Wolf. Yeah, that could be cool. Yeah, because Bards are going to have a travel speed boost, Rorier. I'm almost positive. They've even mentioned this stuff on my Bard video. I remember a link in them talking about travel speed. It's in the video there. So there will be a travel speed buff. Maybe you have to spec into it. Maybe you don't. It's hard to say. A Zerg will not level as fast as an 8-man group. Too much waste will. Yeah, no, I agree. Zerg definitely won't. You remember in Arcade, Pennerball, how everyone would just get in a group and do all the what was it? The honor quests. They would just wipe out all the honor quests. I mean, that was cheap. Pennerball says AoE for your party only if you range. Sounds like EQ, but well, DAOC bards were like that. Something me doing. They were. That was pretty much their utility, where they were really wanted because they had group speed. EQ bards had to play a song, and how long did that song last? Rorier wasn't always up. I could see it like maybe for 5 minutes or something like that, and then they had to play it again or something like that. And would you want the speed to cancel? Oh, 5 seconds. Oh, geez, that's almost micromanaging at that point. Would you want any speed buffs to get taken away in combat if they casted a combat spell or were hit by a combat spell? Would you guys want to see the speed lost, or should it stay up? Had to keep song twisting? Yeah. There was a lot of twisting in DAOC as well. Definitely a lot of twisting in DAOC as well. Oh, man. I'm going to say I miss my co-host tonight. I don't got anything to bounce off them tonight. You guys like Paranot? You like his picture and Careerian? They're both on vacation tonight. They left me hanging. Royer says you would play the song indefinitely as long as you kept playing. Okay, yeah. So I don't know. 5 seconds for me, Royer, would make me not to want to play Bard. I think that it needs to be a little bit longer than that. Cryptic says, I think it would be better if it was just an AoE radius around the Bard effect up to a certain amount. Yeah, but I would like to just see it with the group, though, Cryptic. I don't want to see, because then you're kind of lessening the significance of a Bard, right? If it goes more than 8, then they're going to say, oh, well, we're only going to need 1 Bard for 2 groups, right? And then they might take more damage or something like that with them. So I want Bard to be the masters of speed and the masters of CC. If they give those 2 things, I might roll a Bard, because it sounds like it could be a lot of fun. I don't know, though. A Renkai Bard? I don't know. That might be kind of odd. I'm going to go ahead and post my Discord link here real quick, guys. If you guys were playing 7 Days to Die, if you want to come play 7 Days to Die, come check it out. And I'm also I just rolled out some new merch, guys. Come check it out. If you want to support the channel, that's a great way to do it. There you go. Yeah, but other than that, I think that Bards are going to be super interesting. Now, I'm very excited to see summoners like Pendrawl, sounds like he is, and to see what they can do. But it might be a little bit before we get to do. Paranot seems to be comfortable to me with being in a forest. Well, we call him Paranut, because that's what Nice calls him sometimes when he joins. He goes, hey, how you doing? He goes, hey, Paranut. So he's a dwarf holding a nut. So I kind of figured it was fitting. Cryptic says, think about node wars when you want your bard to be able to affect your fellow members. And if they are not in a party, it makes them that much more viable. I don't know. I came back at a good time. What do you think about your picture, Paranut? How do you like it? Oh, by the way, I put up a poll, Paranot, and I asked, I said, which co-host do you like more? Paranot 1, Careerian 2, neither 3, both 4, and 5, kick them both out and bring a girl in. I got to tell you that Dr. Burns did say 4. There were some other answers, but you were outvoted on kicking you both out and bringing in a hot girl. So I don't know. We're gonna have to talk. Paranut, indeed. I hope you're having a good time at the wedding, my friend. I miss you guys tonight. I'm running out of. I'm running out of voice here, talking the whole time, but I don't mind. It's we got a good show tonight. I might have a girl, but she's shy. We can't have a shy girl. We will bring the shy out. We'll bring the excitement out of her. You bring a girl in, we'll do a 4-person while we're gearing up for Ashes of Career if we have Ashes of Creation if we have to. That would be cool. I hope everyone's having a good night, guys. If you haven't followed the channel, follow me. I was at 620 because which is the goal, and because Cryptic followed me, but some a-hole left and he unfollowed me. So now I'm back to 619. So if you're not following the channel, doggone it, hook a brother up and help me out. But other than that, I hope everyone's having a great night. Any other thing that you guys want to talk about tonight? Anything else on your mind? Live stream delays, anything like that going on? What do you think about the dynamic server meshing? What other abilities would you like to see some of the other classes have that really set themselves apart? We already know that the fighters are going to have basically a lot of chase down mechanics. Now, I really think that Rangers are going to have a really good go of it, because they're going to be up on the mountains and stuff like that, and they're like, yeah, we can go ahead and, I'm going to snooze this ad break, we can go ahead and jump up on top of a mountain and shoot down, and of course the fighter can jump and do his blitz or do his leap strike, but we know those animations. So as soon as the ranger sees those animations, he's just going to either airstrike off or he's going to disengage and jump away. So are we really going to be able to compete with the Rangers and their, I guess we'll just call it roof camping, for lack of a better term? They're using the train. I think they're going to have a hell of a time getting those Rangers. Maybe a skill that can maybe increase the javelin pull for the tanks that you could spec into that would increase it to the range of a Ranger's arrow. And that being said, we know that the Rangers have a short bow and they have a long bow. Typically, long bows shoot farther. So let's say the Ranger short bow is 35 meters and the long bow shoots slower, but it's 40 meters. So that could be very interesting. Let's see. Wizard says Ranger with a rope tied to an arrow. Yeah, like a scorpion. Get over here. Oracle says, how do you think summoners should get their summons? I don't know. I think it should be channeled for a little bit. Maybe not too long, but I think it should be channeled in case they die. Maybe you could spec. Maybe farther down into the summoner line, you could spec where you could have 2 summons, depending on how powerful they are. Pennerbrawl says, move heavy metal, she don't have to talk. There you go. You let me know, Perry. We'll talk later, Perry. And we need a hot girl in here because I'm not very engaging for the stream. They don't want to come in here and look at the old man and and Crerian's on vacation and you're holding a nut. So we need a hot girl. I need a backup in case you guys can't show up. So we're just gonna go with that. But on that note, guys, I am going to go check. We're going to see who's streaming tonight because my voice is getting hoarse. We're just going to keep it a nice short stream tonight. Let's see who we got tonight streaming. Cryptic says, I'm curious to see what hybrid combat mode looks like in a range. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we got Drew. Is this all we got tonight? Is Drew the only other one going? Hey, there we go. There's our 620. Thank you, Malsias. I appreciate it. Welcome to the channel, guys. I guess we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna raid Tankologist again, and he's talking some server meshing. So, thank you guys all. Oh, your Overlord. Oh, outstanding. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it very much. So hang on tight, guys. We're going to go ahead and raid Tankologist and watch him on his treadmill while he talks about Dynamic Server. And it looks like he's watching a reaction video from Loreforge. So take care, guys, and everyone have a good one. Magma Cannon, good night, guys. Here we go. Bye-bye, guys. Take care. God bless. Thanks for coming in.